Hi everyone, let's paint together today this beautiful 20 centimeters mandala blue. Different shades of blue, really nice. So let's start it. As always, all materials in description below this video. And we are finding the center of mandala for our base. I will link video how to do this if you need some help with this. We are making marks every centimeter. I will create later on 1 centimeter cycles, every 1 centimeter, sorry, and every 15 degrees we are making lines. These are our marks that will help us to create this pattern like that. And we already made marks, so every 1 centimeter I'm making cycles. The base, as you see, already covered, not the black like we used to. So again, this will be in description below. So it's our custom color number 4. I'm creating central mark, as you see on the video, and with thin tool I'm moving paint a little bit around to make nice surface. And with our first custom color, I'm making small dots around. I'm not doing these ones every line, just close enough to each other but not touching each other, as usually we are doing with mandalas. Like that. Moving forward, the next color, this will be our second custom color. And this time I'm putting dots on each line, as you see on the video. Again, make it as close as you can but not touching each other. This is the main thing that we are doing. And later on we can put a little bit more on each dot to make it even nicer. We are passing one line, as you see, and every second line, and our first custom color we are making big dots. And with thin tool, as you see on the video, I'm making tails towards the center of mandala, like creating the shape of a water drop, if you wish. And you can see how I'm adding later on a little bit more material. If you need, you can do this yourself. And this way we can create, like, add a little bit more volume to our marks, our dots, our strokes even. So as you see, this giving volume definitely and making it a little bit nicer. So with our custom color number 4, we are making 3 dots, as you see on the video. 1.5 millimeter, not too big, but because I'm using 3D drops to make this color, you see those are like popping up from the surface and making this a little bit nicer just from the start without adding anything on the top, like that. With a small brush and our custom color number 2, we will create small strokes around like that, not touching our row with dots. So really nice. I added a little bit greenish color in this second custom color, and this making us still kind of bluish effect, but because the tone a little bit different, this is also giving like this popping out from the surface effect, like that. And moving forward, so what I'm gonna do next, I want pass two lines, as you see on the video, and between our dots, between our flowers that we created before and our first custom color, I'm making these big dots as you see on the video. And this time I don't want to make tails, I just leave it like that to make this a little bit looks not the same, like that. And our second dot, as you see, I'm creating a little bit below with our custom color number 4, like that. Again, you see how this dot popping out from the surface. Really nice. With the same brush, so they're not too big, I'm moving strokes around with our custom color number 3. Custom color number 3. And you see, I'm making this around and kind of like open strokes. I'm not trying to connect those between at the beginning. And as I said, with our custom color number 3, we are moving like that again. End of the stroke, be really careful going between flowers. And yeah, moving forward, I'm using this same brush, and this time it's custom color number 2. I'm starting a little bit below than previous strokes to make these flowers nicer. And really careful at the end between the flowers going. And pressing and releasing brush, pressing, releasing brush at the end. And like that. And we got some space, so I will use our custom color number 1. And again, starting a little bit lower, the same brush, I'm making small strokes. Try not to put one on the top of each other. We got enough of space. But if you missing some space, because it really depends how much you're pressing on your brush, don't worry about that. You see how nice pattern looks like from above. So it's still really nice and beautiful. The next one, missing one circle, and the next one we are making again with our custom color number 3. This time we are making the same way. We are making dot, and after that with thin tool we are making tails toward mandala center. Like that, really nice. And if you worry that you will mess something out, just wait until previous strokes and dots dry out, and after that you can come back to the painting. And if something not exactly how you want, you can remove paint. Again, we are making with our custom color number 2 3 dots, the same way as you see on the video. So I'm starting on a circle and below 2, adding after that. And you see, you really look how much space you got. You can move it a little bit up, a little bit below, make distance wider. Really play with your own painting, because at the end you will look at this picture in a total. Remember about that. So moving forward, again small brush, and I will use our custom color number 2 to make these nice small strokes. And you see, again, really careful, end of the strokes going towards space between flowers, but not touching. And you see, because we used not a black base, our basic color like really plain, like already one of the colors. First custom color, and you see I'm making a little bit bigger strokes, starting from the biggest circle mark, and I'm moving around. You see it's pretty open strokes. I'm pressing enough on a brush so they kinda widen a little bit, at least looks like that. And we are moving around like that. So I'm using really the same brush all the time. This time I'm using a little bit bigger brush, but to be honest, you can use the same. And I'm making with our first custom color one more strokes. And you see I'm starting like literally from the angle and going around and making this again really open flowers. And this way also I'm playing with the space. Yeah, that space that we left at the angle of mandala, if I can use the word of angle because it's still circle. Like that. So what we are doing next? The same brush and our custom color number 2. I'm making small strokes like that. You see I'm starting like our second from the ankle circles and making small strokes, and this way adding a little bit more nuances to our mandala, making this a little bit more interesting. And really careful at the end to not touch our second row of flowers. And like that, really nice and beautiful. You see how shiny it is. I want to play a little bit with this space, but I waited until everything dry out. You see how it looks like. I removed all marks, we don't need this too much anymore. And now I wanna play a little bit more and add a little bit lighter tones on the top. So first I decided to go with lighter tone at the center, and this is our custom color number 5. With the same custom color, I will move around. Yes, remove all bubbles that you can see before your paint dry out. After that, you can add with the same tool, the same tone of paint. You can move and add a little bit volume to your dots that you just created, and everything dried out. Remember about that. Your paint should be dried out before you're doing this. And this trick will help you in the future if you want to add a little bit volume so your dots like popping out from the surface a little bit more. This is one of the secrets how you can do this. With our custom color number 5, I'm using this space between the base of our flowers, as you see, and I'm making dots, and within tool making tails between flowers like that. So we are using space between flowers this way and a little bit lighten up our painting. And you can add a little bit on the top to, again, when it's dry out, your dots will be more visible. Like that. With the same custom color, I'm moving forward and I'm adding dots on the top, on the base of our flowers. Just dots, I'm not making tails. Playing a little bit with forms making our painting more interesting. Removing all bubbles that you can see. And you see how it's lighting up. Now I want to add a little bit more details to this second row of flowers. First of all, I'm adding small dots with the same custom color number 5. Just small dots below our 2 dots that we just created and like a base of this second row of flowers. Just small nuance. And after that, with the same custom color number 5, I'm making bigger dots on the top of our big dots that we created like a base for this second row of flowers, like that. Don't rush. And remember, we can add paint on the top when previous paint like dried out only, to not mix the colors. Removing all bubbles. And after that, I want to play a little bit around this last row of flowers. So with a small tool, a small brush, I'm making strokes, just light strokes around like that. Playing with the surface and at the same way lighting up a little bit our flowers and moving like that around. Don't rush, take your time. And don't forget to enjoy the process. This is the main thing actually we are sometimes forgetting while we are painting. Yes, and I decided to go a little bit between. I like this deep blue that on a base. And I want to lighten up a little bit space between. So I'm taking really thin tool, thin brush, and making small stroke with the same custom color number 5 on the top like that. Just small strokes. And playing a little bit with space inside of these flowers. Like that. You can definitely add your details. Use this video like inspiration. You may add a little bit more tones, more dots somewhere if you wish. Really use this as a tutorial, as your inspiration to create your own piece of art. Hope you enjoy this video, hope you enjoy this tutorial. Press like button, subscribe and enjoy your painting. See you on next video. Bye!